You're watching Service Electric 2 Sports, presented in high definition.
First up, the rain couldn't stop last night's championship volleyball matches. Then we get you ready for football postseason. And later, October is over, but our Halloween fun is not. Lehigh Valley Sports Scene starts now.
You're watching Lehigh Valley Sports Scene.
Welcome to the Lehigh Valley Sports Scene. I'm Courtney DuPont alongside Gwen Begley. Later in the show, we're going to have Doug Heater in studio to talk a little college football. But before that, we got to get to some volleyball, starting with the 4A classification.
Yeah, Courtney, last night we got two really good matches with 3A and 4A. As she mentioned, we're going to start with the 4A matchup between 5th-seeded Parkland and 3rd-seeded Emmaus. The two met twice already this season. They split the season series. This a rematch of last year's District 11 4A final, which saw the Parkland Trojans defeat the Hornets in a 3-set sweep to win their 5th straight district title. This year, they were looking for their 6th. If this first set was any indication as to how this match would go, we were in for a crazy night. Now we're just going to go to the end of this set, which was the longest one I've ever witnessed. This coming after a back and forth match that saw at least 11 ties. Neither team had more than a 3-point advantage. It went into the 20s, then into the 30s. Anytime the Hornets had the match point, the Trojans would find a way to tie. Amber Resendez tied it at 33. A point later and a chance to win. Senior Lauren Check comes through and tips it over and ends the marathon set. A long, tiring, dramatic one ends 35-33 in favor of the Trojans. They carry that momentum into the second set, leaving no room for another close one despite efforts from Ava Holden. Jackie Malitsky will send one over for the kill, part of a Parkland run. The defense was absolutely stellar on the serve receive as the Trojans put Emmaus in a deep hole. It'll be Check again who ends it 25-17. Parkland up 2-0. With their backs against the wall, Emmaus comes out with a vengeance in the third set. Macy Van Den Elzen, the EPC MVP, smacks down one of her 14 kills. That wasn't the highest for her team or the match, though. Teammate Jaya Buggett was on fire last night. The junior put away 17 to the hardwood. The Hornets avoid elimination, taking set 3 from the Parkland Trojans 25-17. So the Trojans back on their game, though, in the fourth. They're able to get a couple runs going. The most important one came late. Senior Amber Resendez with a bullet, part of a 10-kill effort for her on the outside there. Bryn Dreisbach, her teammate, contributed 14 kills. That enough to earn Parkland their 6th straight District 11 title, defeating the Emmaus Green Hornets 3-1.
I really think we just caught everyone by surprise, and that feeling is just awesome, being the underdog and coming in and winning these two things. I mean, we haven't won both of these titles in the same year since 2015, so us seniors have never won that, and to bring that back this year, it feels so good.
It was great. It was fun to watch, and again, kudos to Emmaus. They were hitting the ball over the place, and those girls passing the ball made it so tough. They were passing dimes, and they just kept their offense in system. It was fun to coach. It was good to be on the winning side. It really was. For the girls, I'm so proud of them.
An impressive 6 straight district titles, as Lauren Check mentioned. The last time they won the EPC and the district championship in the same season was in 2015. That was also the year they last won the PIAA state championship. Emmaus isn't done their season yet either. Both of these teams advance to the PIAA 4A tournament. Parkland will play the District 3 4th place, and Emmaus will play the District 1 runner-up on Tuesday. So they live to see another day.
Yep, so now we're going to shift gears over to the District 11 3A tournament. Southern Lehigh, coming in the number 1 seed, played Central Catholic. Now, Southern Lehigh has won 3 straight league titles, while Central Catholic got eliminated early from the EPC. But Central's hopes of winning their 5th straight district title were still alive coming into this match. Here's Cassie Schmidt with more.
The Vikettes of Central Catholic would come out and dominate this first set. Back and forth until 2 straight from Ava Grapsy. They'll extend that 2-point lead to 11 after 3 straight Central points, ending with the ace from Maggie McGuire, and they take set 1 25-13. The two teams would go back and forth all night long. Southern Lehigh will come back to take set 2 after taking an early lead with 3 points from Courtney Kylish, ahead now 9-5, never losing that momentum in this one and tying it up at a set apiece. 25-18, the set 2 final. Central would take back the lead here in set 3, thanks mostly to an 8-3 run, putting them ahead 15-9. The big block from Mary Rose Janney and Monica Vargo will extend the lead to 8. 25-17 the final, and Vikettes up 2-1. All Southern Lehigh from this point on. After taking the 12-10 lead off the Kylish kill, the Spartans wouldn't look back. The block from Miller and West will make it 18-14. Miller with another kill to make it 24-17, and we're tied up at 2 sets and headed to a 5th. Just 15 points is all that Southern Lehigh would need, and from the jump, their energy would take over. Fight would have a kill and a block to make it 7-2 Spartans. 3 kills from Kylish in this final set, her last, to make it 14-11, and Fight would end with a monster kill. She'd finish the night with 14, and they'd take set 5, 15-12. Securing their 2nd championship crown of the year.
Amazing, unbelievable. Oh my God, that was probably the best game all of us have ever played. Our energy was fantastic. I'm shaking so much. I'm so happy.
We are so excited. We've been waiting for this for 3 years now. This is our 4th year as seniors. This is so exciting.
While wins and losses can certainly come down to how much skill you have on the court, sometimes in the game of volleyball, energy can be an even bigger factor. And that was the case tonight for Southern Lehigh as they took over in sets 4 and 5, ultimately leading them to their 1st district crown since 2013.
We definitely worked a lot harder in that 5th set. I feel like we were able to pull away and get those major point leads, which was awesome.
We had a lot of great tournaments through the year that's going to help us, but this was a match that made us better tonight. Rest up, get healthy, and focus on what we need to do next week. But the energy, the passion, they know what has to be done to win now.
On the scene at Catasauqua, I'm Cassie Schmidt for 2 Sports.
Thank you, Cass. So the Spartans advanced to the state tournament for the first time since 2013. Hopefully they can keep up that energy. But before any state tournament games happen, our soccer district games have to take place. Last night, all of our games were canceled due to rain. Tonight's matchups, though, will feature some 1A action. At 5 p.m., the number 1 seed Moravian Academy girls takes on number 2 Minersville. Moravian is currently the defending 1A champs. Will they make it a 2-peat? We'll have to wait and see. And then after that game at 7 p.m., it's the Moravian Academy boys who get a shot. They'll take on Schuylkill Haven. Moravian Academy has won 5 straight district titles in the boys division, and Schuylkill Haven will have to look to end that streak after just 1 loss during their regular season this year.
That action continues into Saturday, trickling over from the postponements. 2:30, 2A girls, number 1 Northwestern Lehigh taking on number 2 Central Catholic. We'll have that live for you on 50 and 550 HD at 4:30. The 2A boys going head-to-head, Notre Dame, Green Pond, and Penn Argyle. Those are taking place at Emmaus. Then at 4:30, another live game, 3A boys, number 2 Southern Lehigh taking on number 4 Northwestern Lehigh. That's been a good one all season long. That's on 50 and 550 HD from Parkland. 6:30, the 4A girls, number 7 Freedom taking on number 8 Nazareth. How would you expect a 7 and 8 seed in the championship game? You just couldn't. And then another live game at 6:30, the 4A boys, number 1 Emmaus taking on the Heroes in number 6 Whitehall. The Zephyrs have had 2 upsets so far and don't want to stop now. The ultimate would be winning that district championship. We will see if they can get that done on Saturday. It's live at 6:30 on 50 and 550 HD. So the rain hold these off, but it will get done this weekend. We'll have highlights of a lot of those games for you on Monday's Sports Seat.
Oh yeah, a lot coming up this weekend. Right now, we need to take a short break. When we come back, District 11 football. We check in with a pair of teams hoping to make some noise in the 6A bracket.
Oh, App State, Georgia Southern.
Holding on against West Virginia.
Oh, that one.
What are some other games that we can look forward to this weekend?
Good. Yep.
Okay, and then sneaky good. I don't know how I'm going to set you up for that. I'll just probably say what I usually say. All right, those are some obvious, that will hopefully
I had to dig deep today.
be good games.
That
Take a shot at Rutgers.
What are some
Rutgers and
sneaky
Illinois
good
almost
games
made it.
They had to really dig deep.
Yeah. Well, I was going to put it on, but then
Almost made the cut.
but I wanted to put this game on that's on CBS Sports Network because some people might not know the channel changed, and it's a 10:30 kick. So,
We lost the channel change.
well, that and the fact that both Illinois and Rutgers are terrible, but
It means a good matchup. That's what it means.
Rutgers beat Liberty last week. That was.
Stand by.
Welcome back to Lehigh Valley Sports Scene. We already touched base on volleyball and soccer, but tonight starts District 11 football, which means some really exciting matchups.
Yeah, 8 teams qualified in the 6A classification. 2 leading the pack are number 1 Nazareth and number 2 Freedom are currently considered 2 of the favorites heading into this weekend's first round. The top 2 seeds in the District 11 6A tournament were getting geared up for this weekend for what they hope will be a long journey through the postseason. Top-seeded Nazareth finished the regular season with a 9-1 record and will now prepare for their first and only meeting of the season with Pocono Mountain West in the first round of the 6A tournament.
We got to take care of fundamentals. That's what we're doing this week. We're a little banged up coming in. We got some guys injured along the way here last week. So we're trying to get healthy as we can. But we're back to fundamentals again. The focus is just on this 1 week. We've done it all season long, being 1-0. That's what we're trying to do again this week. And like I said, so far, because we're working hard at practice.
Similarly, the second-seeded Patriots of Freedom High School were back to work this week, riding high off a big win last week over arch-rival Liberty. And while the excitement of rivalry week has ended, head coach Jason Roeder is looking forward to getting his group refocused for their showdown with 7th-seeded Emmaus.
It's been great. I mean, anybody who knows anything about the week leading up to the Freedom Liberty game knows that there's a lot of distractions. Now, they're good distractions, don't get me wrong. Events in the school and in the community, they're awesome. But now it's just a matter of us focusing on football. It's just us out here. We have the field to ourselves. Most other sports are done right now. Once again, it's just a matter of focusing on football and trying to get a win.
So it's safe to say both are looking forward to the beginning of what they always call a new season. As I mentioned, the 1-8 matchup will feature Nazareth and Pocono Mountain West. The 2-7 Freedom and Emmaus. The Patriots won the first meeting this season, 63-28 on October 11th. It's also a rematch, believe it or not, of last year's district championship game, which was also won by Freedom. That was their first district championship.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to stick with football, but we're going to shift it over to college football now. Lehigh is playing Holy Cross this weekend in a game that could determine who gets the Patriot League title. Heading into the game, head coach Tom Gilmore's squad is set to face off against his former team where he spent 14 years at the helm. The 2-0 Crusaders are coming off a 21-point victory over Colgate. Lehigh recently edging Georgetown in a last-second field goal. The brown and white 4-game win streak will be put to the test as they look to find continued balance on offense. Defensively, Lehigh ranks 17th nationally in rushing defenses and looks to avenge a memorable loss from a season ago. In 2018, Holy Cross ranked 540 yards of offense against Lehigh in a 56-0 shutout. A lot has changed since last fall, including
they're good across the
Lehigh's
board. They have
levels
great
of
specialists on
execution
special
and
teams.
confidence.
They have big weapons on offense, and they're very active on defense. So they're a team that, from a Patriot League standpoint,
Welcome back to Lehigh Valley Sports Team. Before the break, we touched base on volleyball and soccer, but tonight starts District 11 football, and that means some really exciting matchups.
Yeah, exciting times ahead, Courtney. 8 teams qualified in the 6A classification. The two leading the pack are number 1 Nazareth and number 2 Freedom, are certainly considered two of the favorites heading into this weekend's first round. The two top seeds in the District 11 6A tournament were getting geared up this week for what they hope will be a long journey through the postseason. Top seeded Nazareth finished the regular season with a 9-1 record and will now prepare for their first and only meeting of the season with Pocono Mountain West in the first round of the 6A tournament.
We got to take care of fundamentals. That's what we're doing this week. We're a little banged up coming in. We got some guys injured along the way here last week. So we're trying to get healthy as we can. But we're back to fundamentals again. The focus is just on this 1 week. We've done it all season long, being 1-0. That's what we're trying to do again this week. And like I said, so far, the kids have been working hard at practice.
Similarly, the second-seeded Patriots of Freedom High School were back to work this week, riding high off a big win last week over arch-rival Liberty. And while the excitement of rivalry week has ended, head coach Jason Roeder looking forward to getting his group refocused for their showdown with 7th-seeded Emmaus.
It's been great. I mean, anybody who knows anything about the week leading up to the Freedom Liberty game knows that there's a lot of distractions. Now, they're good distractions, don't get me wrong. Events in the school and in the community, they're awesome. But now it's just a matter of us focusing on football. It's just us out here. We have the field to ourselves. Most other sports are done right now. Once again, it's just a matter of focusing on football and trying to get a win.
So it's safe to say both of these teams are looking to what they call the beginning of a new season. As I mentioned, 1-8 matchup will feature Nazareth and Pocono Mountain West, 2-7 Freedom and Emmaus. The Patriots won the first meeting of this season 63-28 back on October 11th. It's also a rematch of last year's district championship, which Freedom came out the victors.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to stick with football, but we're going to move to the college level. Lehigh is playing Holy Cross this weekend in a game that could determine who takes the Patriot League title. Head coach Tom Gilmore's squad is set to face off against his former team, where he spent 14 years at the helm. The 2-0 Crusaders are coming off a 21-point victory over Colgate. Lehigh recently edging Georgetown on a last-second field goal. The Browns and Whites' 4-game win streak will be put to the test as they look to find continued balance on offense. Defensively, Lehigh is ranked 17th nationally in rushing defenses and looks to avenge a memorable loss from a season ago. In 2018, Holy Cross racked up 540 yards of offense against Lehigh in a 56-0 shutout. A lot has changed, though, since last fall, including both Lehigh's level of execution and confidence. They're still expecting a big challenge.
They're good across the board. They have great specialists on special teams. They have big weapons on offense, and they're very active on defense. So they're a team that, from a Patriot League standpoint, does not have many weaknesses. So we're going to have to be good in all 3 phases. I think they're a team like us that has improved from week 1 to now, and you see that watching the film. They're gaining some confidence. They have some more veteran players than we do. That might be a little bit more of an advantage, but our younger players have gotten a lot of game experience so far this season. So it might be more recent, the experience, but I think a lot of the players that will be on the field have played an awful lot this year for us.
This is as high a confident team as I've been on since I've been here, and I think it just comes down to us knowing the level that we're capable of playing at and not really even looking at who we're playing. Obviously, we're going to scout them and know what we have to know, but we know that if we come out and we play to the level that we're capable of, it really doesn't matter who we're playing.
We're trying to focus on what we have in our locker room and what we can do. I think that we can do whatever we want to do with whoever we play against, so I think that if we go out and execute like we can and like we have been, then we'll be just fine.
We've approached each Patriot League game the same. We only have 6 league games a year, and they're equally important. So we preach this the first week, when we open up against Colgate and then against Fordham and against Georgetown. So I don't think our guys are looking at this game any differently in the magnitude of it from that standpoint, and that leaves the pressure off of you. We're focused on, beating Holy Cross, and executing at a higher level than we did last week.
Kickoff for that game is going to be just after 12:30 at Goodman Stadium. Also, the game will be a salute to service, so free admission for any first responder in attendance.
That's awesome. A lot of teams doing that this weekend. Speaking of college football, we're going to bring in Doug Heater to the studio to go over his college game guide. A good game already last night. Baylor just holding off West Virginia. What are some other games we can look forward to this weekend?
Well, this schedule is not the greatest this week, but as I say, every week it's college football, so we're able to find games, and I was able to find 6, starting with 3 must-watch games. So let's take a look at the 3 top games of the day, and we're starting, of course, in the SEC with the world's largest cocktail party, Georgia against Florida in Jacksonville. This one on CBS 503 HD. They are meeting for the second straight season as 2 top 10 teams. The last 5 games have been decided by double digits with an average margin of victory at 21 points. Game number 2 at 7:30. This is where College Game Day will be tomorrow on ABC 506 HD. SMU taking on Memphis. The Tigers of Memphis, who are 7-1, are 8-3 in the series and have won 5 consecutive by an average score of 43-13. SMU is 8-0 for the first time since starting the season 10-0 in 1982. And the third game to watch, Oregon taking on USC. The Ducks have won 7 straight games this season since losing to Auburn beginning of the year. Oregon has won 2 of the last 3 on the road in the Coliseum. USC won the last matchup in the Coliseum in 2016. USC leads the all-time series with 39 wins, 20 losses, 2 ties, but Oregon has won 4 of the last 6. So those are the 3 must-watch games covering the gamut of time. Tomorrow starting early in the afternoon.
So, Doug, if you had to dig deep for top games to watch, I can imagine it was pretty hard to find some sneaky good games, but you were able to do it. So what are the sneaky good ones?
I still managed to find a few sneaky good ones, and we're going to start in the ACC, and I found some games of importance. In the ACC, NC State, yes, is 4-3, a noon kickoff tomorrow on ESPN 524 HD, but taking on number 23 Wake Forest, who is Clemson's really only challenge in the ACC. Wake and Clemson play on November the 16th at Clemson. NC State has lost 2 of the last 3 games, including to Boston College last week, and the home team in this series has won 10 of the last 12. Moving to the Pac-12, on Fox 505 HD at 4 o'clock. Number 9 Utah looking to avoid the upset against 5-3 Washington. Utah has won 4 straight games since losing to USC, but they've won just 1 of the 13 meetings with the Huskies. The Huskies, however, have struggled this season, having lost 2 of the last 3 games, including losing to Oregon last weekend 35-33. And 10:30 tomorrow night on CBS SN, which is 776 HD in the Mountain West, Boise State taking on San Jose State. San Jose State was 1-11 and 2-11 in the last couple seasons, now 4-4 this year with wins over Arkansas and Army. Boise State's lone loss was to BYU a couple weeks ago. In this series, the Broncos of Boise State are 13-0 against San Jose State. So just a few games and a couple sneaky good ones to watch on tomorrow's college football game guide.
Oh, thank you, Doug Heater, for joining us, our college football guru, scrounging up some good games to watch this weekend. If you want to check the schedule of programming, sectv.com. Speaking of schedule and programming, let's take a look at this weekend's schedule here on Service Electric. Tonight, hockey returns to the PPL Center as the Phantoms welcome in the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Then on 50 and 550 HD, as we mentioned, some district football playoffs begin in the 6A class, the 7-2 matchup between Emmaus and Freedom. 10 o'clock, we've got 6A class 5-4 matchup between Easton and Northampton. More football in 3A. The 3-2 matchup between Notre Dame, Green Pond, and Tamaqua. That'll be on SE50 and 550 HD.
And then on Saturday at 12 p.m., District 11 4A football on TV2. The 6-seed Blue Mountain is 5-5 coming into a matchup against the 3-seed Bethlehem Catholic. Bethlehem Catholic has won 3 straight 4A titles. They're vying for their 4th. And then at 7 o'clock in the 4A classification, still on TV2 again, Lehigh in the 8-seed taking on Northwestern Lehigh. Both teams have since moved into 4A classification since their last times winning district titles.
So a lot of really exciting things to see this weekend on Service Electric. We're going to step aside for just a moment, but when we come back, it's not too late to go trick-or-treating. We head to Fountain Hill Elementary, where some Lehigh student athletes got into the Halloween spirit. We welcome you back to Lehigh Valley Sports Scene. Gwen Begley with Courtney DuPont. So it's November 1st, which means it's already Christmas time, right? That's how that works. We're going to go back in time to Halloween, which is just yesterday. And Courtney, you got to do some trick-or-treating.
Actually, it wasn't me, it was Unicourt. And Unicourt and the Mountain Hawks made a trip to Fountain Hill Elementary School, and they had a great time. Check it out.
Last night, the community outreach by athletes who care about helping or coach at Lehigh University wanted to celebrate Halloween with their favorite elementary school students at Fountain Hill.
The Fountain Hill Halloween trick-or-treat, it's really cool. The coach group does a great job putting it on. Really just getting a bunch of elementary school students to have a safe trick-or-treating event where they can come in here, interact with the student-athletes over at Lehigh, and get to see really a nice Halloween for them. And it's really cool and rewarding for us getting to see the smiles on all their faces and how excited they are, all dressed up and everything. It's a really awesome night.
This is actually our first year doing the Halloween event. We do the Adopt a Family in December. So I'm not sure if it's some of the same families, but that's our kind of December holiday event. So we are really excited. We're doing a lot of planning right now for Adopt a Family, so to be able to actually do an event for Halloween as well is really exciting for us this year.
The main objective of this event is to provide a fun but also safe environment for Fountain Hill Elementary students, seeing as trick-or-treating this year was hindered a little bit by the weather.
A lot of times you have kids just walking the streets on Halloween, but they're with other classmates, and they're really able to come here into this environment where the confines of a school is really neat, and it's a cool experience.
We love interacting with the little kids. They're obviously adorable, and I think to be able to provide them with this safe Halloween is really, really good.
The night's activities obviously included candy for the kids, as well as crafts and face painting. And as sad as we all are to see the end of this year's Halloween festivities, Christy mentioned it before, Coach is now gearing up for their biggest event of the season. That is, Adopt a Family.
A lot of families will come, and each varsity athletics team adopts a family, and we provide them with a holiday that they wouldn't necessarily have otherwise.
That's their biggest event of the year. They really do a great job of providing a great Christmas holiday and holiday season for some of the families in the Bethlehem community, and it's it's really rewarding to be able to give back and help out the best we can.
On the scene for 2 Sports, I'm Unicourt.
You know, Gwen, Unicourt came over my house afterwards. She got her sparkles everywhere. I feel like I'm going to be cleaning for weeks. It's a good thing she only comes out once a year.
You are ridiculous. All right, we're going to take one more quick look at our schedule for the weekend. Tonight, AHL hockey returns to the PPL Center. Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins in town. Then we've got district football, the 6A game on SE50 at 7. Another 6A game at 10 o'clock on TV2. Then the 3A game between Notre Dame and Tamaqua at 10 o'clock. More action on Saturday. More football action. Actually, we've got both 4A games, Blue Mountain, Becca, Lehigh, and Northwestern Lehigh. The first 4A games at noon, the last one at 7 o'clock. So make sure you tune in your TVs to both TV2 and SE50 and 550 HD.
A lot of action this weekend. That's going to do it for Gwen, myself, Doug, the entire 2 Sports team. We'll see you next time.